important word, which we always say too. If these are real, we're not saying. I'm sure you're not saying that these are, like you just said.
No.
But we need to investigate it.
Right.
We need to see if something is underneath. Would you want, now if you want any of this cut out, we can cut it out, but otherwise we're going to go straight on. As you mentioned earlier, that Dulce was the incorrect name to use, that there's someplace else. But if we want to find out what's underneath here, we would like to see what the hell's under here. We're the people.
Right.
We run this country, not the military.
Right.
You know, they just work for us. And what is this top secret crap, you know? We need to find this stuff out.
The whole concept of hiding something behind a veil of national security is a manipulation. It's false. When we have a nuclear arsenal that is as big as we have, and when the Russians have a nuclear arsenal as big as they have, there is no such thing as national security. We can destroy the earth ourselves. If someone is foolish enough to attack us, they're dead. Probably the whole earth will be dead if we retaliate.
Yeah, look what happened to the poor Iraqis over there.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
I don't mean Saddam Hussein, which we should have got in the first place. With one guy could have got him. I don't mean to cut into what you're saying, but exactly, we're a fearsome nation.
but the point is we have it. Everybody knows we have it. What is there to hide? I mean, is there some other super secret weapon that we need to hide? How can anybody hurt us when we have this arsenal? The National Security Act is being used to keep information from the United States citizens, not to protect us from an enemy from without. There's no one that can hurt us when we have this. It just cannot be done. If they attempt it, they're going to be destroyed. We're going to be destroyed. Only madmen would do something like that. And if they're going to do it, they're going to do it, and no National Security Act is going to protect us or shield us from it. They've got to open the file cabinets. They've got to let us see what the truth is. Like you said, this is our country. Unfortunately, most Americans don't vote. They're not responsible citizens. They've abdicated their power. They've given it to the enemy. And the enemy, believe me, is taking it and using it. And we need to get politically active. We need to learn what the truth is. We need to exercise our vote, because each vote is a block of power. And a lot of votes is a tremendous block of power. The concept that someone is just one person and that they're helpless is totally false. And look back through history and see how many times throughout the history of the human race, one single, solitary, lonely, fragile human being has changed and altered forever the entire course of civilization and human events from that point. And they're no different then or now than you or I or the man running the camera or the woman next door. They were flesh and blood, scared, lonely human beings, just like everybody else in the world.
I've got a question.
It's a good message. Go ahead, Ted.
And I'm directing this for one reason, because I feel, I like what you say, and I think that you're the right person for doing this, even though you come at it at two different angles. You come at it with the U.S. Constitution and the government, which I like, and you're also adding to the UFOs. Somebody needs to do this, and I take my hat off. I wish I had the time and the eyes and the experience that you have to do it. But my question is this. President Bush just went to the hospital yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They all tend to go to the Bethesda Hospital, and it's in
Maryland.
And it's a Navy hospital, intelligence hospital. And as I remember in the incident with Eisenhower, he was shifted away all of a sudden for a dental appointment that never happened. Could this be something, you being in intelligence, could this be a secret meeting room? And you don't have to answer this. And I can shut off the tape if you want. But could it be, and you can direct this question to it.
We just asked the question.
But could it be a secret meeting room where the president needs to get together with a bunch of people that the community doesn't want to know about? So he gets a heart attack, or he has a colon attack, or he needs to take a mole off, so he goes to the hospital and he meets with these people.
No, I don't think that's what it is. I think what it is that a lot of us out here have been bringing tremendous pressure on the administration and on the Congress and on the president about what we know is going wrong, about the Kennedy assassination, about the fact that the hostages were held and released only 30 minutes after Ronald Reagan was sworn in,
Right.
about the tremendous mass of evidence, about Barbara Honegger's book and others who have written about the Reagan-Bush agreement with Iran for them to keep the hostages,
Right.
not let them go until after the election, in exchange for shipping them arms and equipment, which was illegal.
Outrageous manipulation is what it was.
And just recently, the ex-Prime Minister of Iran just stated publicly that he met with Bush in Paris, and Bush was the man who arranged the whole hostage deal in exchange for arms that led to the Iran-Contra scandal that everybody's familiar with. And I believe that Bush is worried. I believe he's scared to death, because I think pretty soon we're going to see the end of George Bush. The man is dirty, he's a criminal, and I think he may have had a real heart attack, but in any event, while he's at Bethesda Naval Hospital, his memory will be erased during that period of time by EDOM, which is electronic dissolution of memory. It's a mind control technique that the CIA has developed over the last 40 years, and when all of this breaks down, even if he's impeached, he won't be able to incriminate a whole lot of other people, and the damage will be contained. Even though he may lose the presidency, the intelligence network is not going to fall to pieces, and that's what they're trying to preserve, I believe. Remember that when James Forrestal went to Bethesda Naval Hospital, he was killed. Remember that when Richard Nixon resigned, it said on the steps of the White House, when he was saying his farewell speech, he said, "Within a few days, I'm going to tell the American people the truth about UFOs." Immediately, he was snatched, taken to the mental ward of Bethesda Naval Hospital, and he's never said another word about it since.
And Ford said he was going to say something too when he first took office. He said he's going to let the whole world know.
That's
that was
correct.
on national television.
And he
Nothing.
never did.
Nothing.
Carter also said when he gets in the White House that he was going to order NASA to make an investigation and tell the truth about UFOs. Well, he did give the order to NASA, and NASA never did it, and he never enforced his order. So anyway, I think the Bush administration is going to come tumbling down very shortly.
Well, that's good news to me. As you know, I don't have any love for Mr. George Bush, and I think he's a jerk, and I think he always was a jerk, and we need to write our congressmen, we need to write our senators. We are in a sorry state of affairs when in this United States of America, which is supposed to stand for truth, we can all pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness here. When we have to worry about what our neighbors are, we have to worry about what we do, what's happening, is the president this, is the president that, if he goes, wow, and all of this is terrible, folks. Stop and think for a minute. This is absolutely terrible. And when it's got to this state where there's smoke, there's fire, all right? All we're saying is, like Mr. Cooper said just a few minutes ago, wake up, start opening your eyes and ears, research, investigate, which is we're going to do. And you know, those of you that watch the show know that we do, and we don't hold any punches. And we are going to topple this regime that we got, and we are turning fascist in this country. And that's certainly not what I want. And if that's what you want out there, buddy, then you're in trouble, because you're my enemy. You know, and I'm going to do my best to pull you down. And I'm going to do it legally, and I'm going to do it with righteousness. And that's all. My little soapbox that I want to get off to.